So after the inauguration of Donald Trump, Protestathon 2017 got kicked off immediately the following day with women's marches in every major city in this country. And Los Angeles had a major one. Let's hear what they have to say.
We are out here supporting the rights of all people, but specifically today women, and the right to control our own bodies, the right to have religion, the right to really everything that stands for equality.
Sure. And just one question, what specific rights are you demanding?
We are demanding the right that all people have safe and sound borders in America. We are demanding the right...
I'm sorry, that all people have safe and sound borders?
Yes, that everybody is allowed to stay in this country, that we're not creating boundaries.
It's a cool sign. Hi, can I ask you a couple questions about this? What does it mean?
Water is life.
Water is life?
Water.
It's water. Okay. Well, how you doing today?
Great.
Your sign's cool.
Piss though.
I like that.
Empowerment in a healthy way.
What brings you out today?
I mean, we are supportive of women's rights, and we hate Trump.
Sure. Can you let me know what women's rights are under threat right now?
The right to our bodies, the right. I mean, I'm pro-choice, so
You're worried that the Republicans are gonna...
yeah, take away the basic rights of women. 'Cause, I mean, there's a ton more that goes with it, but mainly the rights to our bodies.
Fucking peeps.
We feel like the GOP is getting a little bit extreme about unborn babies, so it's kind of a statement about our unfertilized eggs.
Yeah.
The GOP thinking that there might need to be a funeral for our fucking tampons.
As well as the ability to acquire tampons for nothing. We shouldn't have to pay for them just like anything else.
When boys are given condoms for free.
Yeah.
I don't get free condoms.
Yeah. Well,
So you're saying tampons should be free?
tampons should fucking be free.
Oh, free stuff, whoa. Oh, and one more thing.
Fuck Donald Trump!
Yeah, you can build it as a women's march all you want, but it's all one big anti-Trump, anti-Republican rally. I'm there to talk about fascism because Donald Trump and the Republicans have been being called fascists for over a year, and it's pretty damn inappropriate. Media pundits, these quote-unquote journalists, highly affluent Americans, especially celebrities, elected officials, and worst of all, educators, college professors all across this country have deemed it both applicable and appropriate to deem Donald Trump and his supporters fascists. So simple question, do you know what the word means? Because I don't see much evidence that people know what the word means. They just keep shouting it. What I've discovered, though, is that these leftists that shout fascism generally fall into two groups. The first group has no idea what fascism means. They have some vague idea in their head that it has to do with racism and telling other people what to do.
No more presidents! No more presidents!
But there's another group that has a definition for fascism. It's just wrong. So let's hear them first.
I studied women in international politics in 2009 in Italy. That's the irony. I studied Mussolini a lot, and people compared him to, being a Nazi and Hitler. He's not nowhere near Hitler, but he is very similar to Mussolini in the dictatorship that he had.
And then
Sure. I just want to know what specifically he has in common with Mussolini. Oh, sorry.
The biggest commonality, we were protesting here today. Women's rights. And taking them away.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Your sign is comparing the Trump presidency to some sort of incoming fascist Hitlerian movement. Is that what you believe?
Yes.
All right. Just one question, really. What specific attributes of Trump make him like Hitler?
Using racism to rise to power.
Using racism to rise to power. Is there anything else?
Well, I would think that labeling groups as distinct based on their beliefs.
This is getting real weird. What makes Donald Trump like Hitler?
Well, he hates Hispanics for one. He hates all immigrants. He hates women. He's kind of much just like Hitler, but the orange version. And he just needs to sashay away.
Right, so he hates immigrants?
Yeah, he hates everyone.
What did he say about women that makes me he hates women?
Maybe like grabbing them by the pussy. That's kind of like rude and offensive, and he just shouldn't be grabbing anybody, period.
So I see your sign says Trump is the new Hitler. Could you give me some insight into why you believe that's true?
Well, I mean, there was only one Hitler in the world who was a monster, maniac, insanity. But people who are into power and money and extreme fascism like that are bits and pieces of Hitler. Does that mean that I'm saying he's Hitler? And he's not going to put people in gas ovens and gas chambers, but I mean he does it in different ways. So that's why I put the word Hitler, it personifies fascism. Is that a good way of putting it?
So fascism was like one of the most searched words of 2016, which is pretty amazing when you see how many people don't know what it means. Merriam-Webster defines fascism as a political philosophy, movement, or regime that exalts nation and often race above the individual. Nation and race above the individual.
All white people are racist. All men are misogynistic.
You're fucking a white male!
And that stands for a centralized, autocratic government headed by a dictatorial leader, severe economic and social regimentation, and forcible suppression of opposition. We go with what Mussolini said, everything in the state, meaning the government, is supreme and the country is all-encompassing, and all within it must conform to the ruling body, often a dictator. Nothing outside the state, the country must grow, and the implied goal of any fascist nation is to rule the world and have every human submit to the government. And finally, nothing against the state. Any type of questioning of the government is not to be tolerated. If you do not see things our way, you are wrong. If you do not agree with the government, you cannot be allowed to live and taint the minds of the rest of the good citizens. One of the better definitions comes from a Vox article written by Dylan Matthews, in which he talks to 5 experts in fascism and comes up with a pretty good definition. First, fascism requires the rejection of democracy. It worships violence for its own sake, considers violence a virtue, is extremely anti-individualist. We're going to go through all the things that the Nazis were about, and we're going to see whether that's more in line with the Democratic Party on the left or the Republican Party on the right. So first off, the Nazis were extremely patriotic, religiously patriotic. Is that more in line with the Democratic Party or the Republican Party? I think we can all agree it's a little more the Republican Party. Almost all fascist regimes are all heavily anti-capitalist. The Nazis thought that the capitalist system is something that enriched the Jewish people to the detriment of all others. That was their belief, and is that belief that capitalism is a bad thing closer in line to the thinking of a Republican or a Democrat? Hitler made it illegal for Jews to own guns. So for desiring gun control, is that more in line with the Democratic Party or the Republican Party? The Nazis were highly pro-abortion. They forced abortions on people that they did not see fit in existing any longer. Which one is this more pro-abortion? Come on, it's the Democratic Party, obviously. Which party is more against states' rights and more for a federal centralized government? The Democratic Party. The Nazis were self-proclaimed socialist. Which party is more likely to have adherents that are self-proclaimed socialists? I mean, come on. No questioning of the government. Well, we have the First Amendment here in America, but I mean, if you go to a supposed leftist paradise like Sweden in Bernie Sanders' mind, you're not allowed to question the government all the time. Nazis were innovators in welfare. Every German citizen, regardless of income, was deserving of a certain standard of living. So, is this thinking more in line with the Democratic Party or the Republican Party? The Nazi scientists were the first to figure out that cigarettes were really bad for you, and the Nazis were the first to institute all kind of cigarette regulations across the country. Is that more in the line of thinking of a Democrat or a Republican? The Nazis had government-run healthcare. Which party is more in line with which party wants government-run healthcare more? Okay. Nazis had government-run education. Which party wants government-run education more? Who is more like the Nazis when it comes to wanting war with Russia right now? The Democrats or the Republicans? I'll wait.
The outgoing president is very quietly leaving thousands of U.S. troops on Russia's doorstep on his way out the door. And here's the question. Is the new president going to take those troops out?
You know, Obama did it, therefore I'm in favor of maybe World War III.
The dehumanization of opposition, the eliminationist rhetoric, which is Nazi-esque, which is that coming from right now in America? Is that coming from the left or the right? The left is the one attacking homeless old women on the streets. How is that not hateful? How the fuck is that? How do you confuse love and hate like that? You're out there, love trumps hate, love trumps hate, love trumps hate. Do you even know what love means? Because when you attack a homeless elderly woman, taunt her, laugh at her, physically fucking assault her, that's not love. Okay? Do you get it? Do you know that's not love?
I'd like to punch him in the face.
Will Smith and other rich, famous celebrity actors who get put in front of a microphone whenever they want, who echoed the worst sentiments of Adolf Hitler and publicly called for the cleansing from this nation of people with which they disagree.
As painful as it is to hear Donald Trump talk, and as embarrassing it is as an American to hear him talk, I think it's good. We get to hear it, we get to know who people are, and now we get to cleanse it out of our country.
So after the protests are over, everyone comes home, sits on the couch, throws on Saturday Night Live, and Aziz Ansari is hosting. He's got a comment on this. Let's hear some of this guy's bullshit.
Yesterday, Trump was inaugurated. Today, an entire gender protested against him. Wow. There's like this new lowercase KKK movement that started. This kind of casual white supremacy. Oh, let me put my foot in the pool and see how cold this water really is. No, I'm talking about these people that are running around saying stuff like, Trump won, go back to Africa. Trump won, go back to Mexico. Because these people are out there and it's pissing a lot of people off.
Oh yeah, the lowercase KKK, yeah, that's a fuck. They're really out there. They're out there in full force. This big neo-Nazi movement. Yeah, where the fuck is it, Aziz? I know what you did. You saw a couple videos online. A couple fringe people said some crazy shit. So now you want to blow it up and make this big false narrative. Maybe justify your own side's real, actual extremism. Because I'm out there at the Women's March and I'm seeing people sporting the hammer and sickle shirt. They're fucking, they got the fucking Soviet flag of communism on display. I mean, talk about, you could call that the lowercase USSR, and you'd be fucking right, because it's a huge fucking movement happening on this country. These are millions of people that came out, and they're all cool with this shit. They're standing side by side with it. Just like the fucking love-lovers. Love Trump's hate. You're out there preaching love, but you're standing side by side with fucking extremists that are full of fucking hate. Full of it. And are fucking looking for any reason to attack people that they don't feel are human, that they feel are there is something fundamentally wrong. Right-wingers aren't human in their eyes. Republicans are not human in their eyes. Anything that befalls them is okay. Oh, something bad happened to you in your life? Well, if you're a Republican, you know, serves you fucking right.
Isn't Donald Trump supposed to help you?
Where's Donald? I'm probably raping some bitch, right? You want me to tweet him?
So in summation, Democrats are by far more similar to Nazis than Republicans.